You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now it's 7. A group of volunteers from Bishop and Hayes help us with our annual Toy Box campaign. We'll share that one coming up.
Also, President Trump kicks off economic tour to show voters he's still working to address their concerns.
And we've got a breezy and cool start to the day. We are going to be chilly today, a little warmer tomorrow. Lots to discuss in your forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Warner. It's just after 7 a.m. on this Wednesday, December the 10th, halfway through the week. Of course, we had our Toy Box Tuesday telethon yesterday. And with your support, either of donating toys or donating money so that our groups can go shopping for kids, he was my friend yesterday. I like these things.
This is exactly what I wanted as a kid.
I like this. Well, the cow, which by the way, his name was Ronnie, he's very thankful to you. We are very thankful to you. 4 state children are very thankful for you lending your support for our Toy Box Tuesday telethon. And thanks to your kind donations, got to do another trip yesterday.
Yeah, and it takes a small army to pull off our Toy Box campaign every year. And one particular group of volunteers from Bishop and Hayes recently embarked on a shopping spree to get some of those toys.
KOAM's Ty Parks tagged along for the festive ride.
Well, at Bishop and Hayes, we love to support the local community, and we have found that the KOAM Toy Box is a great way to do that. We love to be a part of making Christmas a better experience for kids in our area. Personally, gives me joy to buy gifts for kids. I had 4 kids myself, and I remember the joy that they would experience on Christmas morning. And of course, although I'm older, I still remember the Christmas mornings when I was little, and there's nothing more exciting than kind of getting up and opening a new gift and getting to spend the day playing with it. For me, is a celebration of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, his birth, and then I love the fact that I get to spend time with family, and we get to spend time just thinking about this last year and things that happened and ways that we were blessed, and maybe tough things that happen too, and we kind of get to sit around and think about the next year. Donating to Toy Box, I would say this. The amazing thing that KOAM does is they keep the toys in the local area. And so any gift you give to KOAM to support the Toy Box campaign, that money is going to be used to benefit children in our area. KOAM Toy Box!
Well, thanks again to Bishop and Hayes and all our partners for everything they do for the Toy Box Toy Drive.
I had somebody ask me yesterday at noon, I had Ronnie the cow with me, and they asked, is he going to do all the forecasts? Honestly, I think he could. He needs, we need to prop him up. We can just roll him over in front of the green screen, and he could probably do the forecast for us. But some lucky child is going to wake up, find this, any of these, any of the others under their tree. And again, we just can't thank you, the viewers, enough for 37 years of supporting the KOAM Toy Box campaign. Absolutely incredible. Much thanks to you. You have no idea the difference it can make for 4 state kids. All right. Let's take a look outside from downtown Pittsburgh, because as I mentioned yesterday too, I'm a guy that's somewhat rare, that I'm a little more in touch with my emotions, and I'm going to get too emotional if I keep talking about all of that. But really, now it's happening. It's Trevor's fault. We really do thank you. We see this, I've seen this, I see how it works, and it makes it, I don't know what's going on. Lydia, you got to help me out here. Why is this, Sam? Why am I getting so worked up? Wow, okay, well, anyway, thanks. Let's talk about that. Beautiful sunrise. There we go. I got to start pressing these buttons. Looks good, 7th in range light. Wow, 71, no, not 71, 171, Kansas 171, 69, KDOT camera there looks good, MoDOT camera 32nd in range line, looking fantastic as well. Let's take a look at those temperatures. That's why I need to step outside. It's a little chilly this morning, still mild, but chilly. 47 Joplin, 46 in Pittsburgh. Taking a look at temperatures around the region, we've got low mid 40s and some upper 40s. Now earlier, we did have some low 50s, and that's what I was talking about. Like Sedan earlier this morning was like 52. So from record from a record keeping standpoint, like almanac data and all that, your high today will probably be recorded as 52 from 6 o'clock in the morning. But you've fallen back to the mid 40s. You may not warm too much more than that as we head into the afternoon. The wind's picking up behind this front. We are starting to get those wind chills into the mid 30s across the area. So it is starting to feel a little colder, but of course we'll warm up a pinch. Future track showing us those gusty northwest winds. We're looking at those mostly clear to partly cloudy skies continuing across the area. And I said just a little chillier out there. So daytime highs for most of us will be into the upper 40s. What I mean by that is as we get into the afternoon, we're actually out working, shopping, going to school. We're looking at upper 40s for most of us with a couple of low 50s. But again, for record keeping purposes, some of you will have low 50s as your high for today. Now, the thing is the temperatures level out as well. That once we get past sunset at 5:01, temperatures will begin to drop off into the 30s overnight. And again, northwest winds gusting to 30. Now, tomorrow morning, a warm front pushes in. And about 24 hours after that, another cold front arrives. And we're going to talk about all of that and your weekend forecast here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Building trust one toy at a time. Local deputies of the Newton County Sheriff's Office took kids on a holiday shopping spree yesterday. Each kid gets paired up with a deputy or a staffer with $100 to spend through this. The kiddos learn lessons on budgeting and math, as well as making connections with local authorities. Well, Jolly Fox is no more as it closed back in June, but the building is currently under contract to be sold to the local restaurant Guadalajara. It also still has a balance that needs to be paid to the city of Pittsburgh. Yesterday, commissioners approved a new payment agreement. Councilmember Cheryl Brooks brought up many missed payments during COVID, and others also shared the concern that it was taxpayer-loaned money and needed to be paid back. The original loan was $200,000. Fast forward nearly 6 years, balance is now around $168,000. Well, Kimberly Burnett of Joplin wasn't sure she could give her family the Christmas they wanted. After her two youngest children needed an extended stay in the NICU, she and her husband have been in and out of work while they tend to them, putting financial stress on the family. Thanks to KOM's Toy Box campaign, each child will receive a gift. Well, Pittsburgh gets new leadership as commissioners swear in and select a new mayor who will guide the city's future. Yesterday was the reorganization of the Board of Commissioners with 2 re-elected and 1 newly elected commissioner, as well as a new mayor, Chuck Munsell, taking the seat. One of their first orders of business was to vote on the approval to accept the grant agreement for the Emergency Solutions Grant of almost $100,000 to support homeless services in the community. President Trump is kicking off an economic tour as many polls show Americans feel negatively about the economy. He's hoping to show voters his administration is working to address their money concerns. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor has more on what we can expect.
My agenda is affordability.
And how we can ensure deeper levels of affordability.
The president has been lying about affordability, has been lying about the impact of his policies.
Affordability is the new buzzword Democrats are using to keep voters laser focused on the economy. But President Trump is pushing back on claims his policies aren't working.
I inherited a total mess. Prices were at an all-time high when I came in. Prices are coming down substantially.
Tonight, the president is taking his economic message on the road to swing state Pennsylvania to make sure voters know what he's doing to bring costs down.
Everything from gasoline to groceries, and the president's doing every day. He is impressing upon us the need to keep pushing forward.
Trump has also worked to lower prescription drug prices, declared no taxes on tips and overtime, and pressed the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates. But Democrats point out home prices and health care are still unaffordable for most.
Tonight, Donald Trump will throw a barrel of hay into the audience and tell them it's spun gold. But the American people know he's lying, because everywhere they look, prices are going up and up.
One thing that would help many Americans, another interest rate cut, which is expected to come Wednesday when the Federal Reserve wraps up its final meeting of 2025. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders and the State Parks Department have begun the process to make Blanchard Springs Caverns the state's 53rd state park. The designation aims to protect the natural and cultural legacy of the caverns while boosting tourism. creating jobs and expanding outdoor recreation in the Ozarks. Sanders says Blanchard Springs State Park will strengthen regional economies in the north central part of the state and preserve one of Arkansas's most unique natural treasures. Well, new energy project in Parsons is drawing wide attention, not just for its size, but for how it's being built. KOM's Blake Gulley is here with more details on the technology behind Deep Fission's pilot reactor and what comes next.
This project introduces a completely new way of building nuclear reactors, and the groundbreaking gave us our first look at what that process could involve.
Instead of putting the reactor above ground where there is possible could get into the environment, it could impact people, you put it a mile underground where you're surrounded by billions of tons of rock and a mile of water, a column of water a mile long. We think that this is the safest, the best possible place that you can put a nuclear reactor.
The project is part of a new Department of Energy initiative designed to accelerate advanced nuclear technology. The ceremony kicks off a fast construction timeline aiming to complete construction by July 2026, pending federal approval.
They see nuclear power as an important national security issue because of AI, and we need to win. We need to be able to have more power in order to power AI, and that's the national security issue. The pilot program is designed in order to get at least 3 reactors up and running.
While questions remain about the long-term vision, Parsons Mayor Verlin Bollinger says the project could bring needed investment and workforce opportunities to the community.
Good paying jobs is what we need in Parsons. We've got a lot of industry here, but if we could see more industry, it'll bring people to Parsons, because I'm sure the people that they need for this project's probably not in Parsons, because this is brand new. So we've got some housing developments we've been working on, and I think this will be a good fit for that.
Deep Fission hopes the groundbreaking marks the start of a long-term energy partnership in southeast Kansas, with the potential to reshape both the region's workforce and its role in the nation's power grid. Blake Gulley, KOAM News.
Now, the technology is still new, and experts say more research is needed before underground reactors become widespread. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, representatives from BTC Athletics and Dance sit down with us to discuss 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, a classic tale told entirely through dance. Well, welcome back. I'm joined this morning with Beth from BTC Athletics. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So I know you guys have a very exciting show that is just perfect for the holiday season. It's a name people may recognize because it is a holiday classic, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Yes, this is our 4th year actually as BTC Athletics and Dance for our production of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. It's a story that everyone knows and loves. It's a wonderful way to really kick off the holiday season. It's a show, we follow the story all the way through and then have dance numbers in between the lines. So it's great for kids, it's great for adults. It's just a really great time.
Amazing. And so who's sort of in this show? Is it your guys' students or?
Yes, so we actually have over 150 amazing students that have been working all semester long on their dances and practicing their craft, so they'll be the main stars of the show. We have dancers from ages 18 months all the way up to 17. So it's a wide variety, tons of different styles, hip hop like what we're seeing right now, ballet, jazz, a little bit of everything.
Amazing. So I'm guessing if there's dance, there's going to be some music in this as well.
Oh, absolutely. Holiday favorites that you will for sure know. We've also got some new ones that maybe you've never heard of before. With this being our 4th year, we're actually really excited to have brand new music for the entire show. So if you've been to our show before, make sure and come again, because it's going to be all brand new music, all brand new dances.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be such a fun holiday show. Is this perfect for the whole family to go to?
Oh, absolutely. The whole family is welcome to come. And in fact, at our 10 o'clock show, we're going to have a very special visitor from the North Pole that will be there for everyone to take pictures with after the show. So they'll definitely want to be there for that.
Amazing. And given this is your guys' 4th year, what's been the community response to this show in the past?
Oh, we've had amazing community response. So much of dance is community fed anyway. We're a community within a community, we like to say. So we have the most amazing families and support, and of course the community and the staff at Memorial Auditorium has always been such a driver and a force for our program.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be such a fun time. Is there tickets for this? Does it cost any money?
Yes, so there are tickets available through Memorial Auditorium. You can buy them online at their website, or you can of course buy them that day at the box office.
Perfect. And for those who are hearing this and like, this is a perfect holiday thing, it's going to be fun to bring my kids or my grandkids, when and where is this taking place?
Of course, it's this Saturday. We have 2 different opportunities to fit your schedule. So we have our first show at 10 o'clock in the morning. Again, that's when our special Santa visitor will be there. And then we also have another show at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's the same show both times, so either way, it's going to be a great show.
Perfect. And if people are wanting to learn more information about either the show or about BTC Athletics, is there a certain place they should go?
Of course, we have a Facebook page, which is a great way to keep up with not only our shows and our performances, but also classes and kind of what's going around the studio. We also have a website, which is btcathletics.com. It can get you all the info about classes if you're interested in joining us.
Well, perfect. Thank you so much, Beth, for joining us this morning.
Oh, I'm so happy, and we hope to see everybody there on Saturday.
It looks like it's going to be such a fun way to celebrate the holidays.
Yes.
Well, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 7:20, almost 7:21 on this Wednesday morning. We're going to start with our future track, and it is pretty bland. We've got northwest winds today that'll be gusting. They've already been doing so this morning, and we will be a little cooler. Cold front pushing through this morning. We'll bring our temperatures back just a wee bit from yesterday. We'll have those mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, and that's about all there is. Now, overnight, we start to go mostly cloudy again ahead of a warm front that will start to push through early tomorrow morning. The fronts from today, tomorrow, and Friday are all almost coming in at the exact same time. That's been the bizarre thing for me. Like, it almost makes me chuckle. Like, it's just kind of crazy. So by 5 a.m., warm front isn't as well defined as the cold fronts are on here, but right about here. So from, let's say, near Yates Center, Burlington, in that zone, stretching back, that's the warm front at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, which means it'll start entering our southwestern counties, I'd say 1, 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, as that front lifts off to the north and east, I'd say after about 10 o'clock again, southwest winds will pick up. We'll be gusting up to 25. We will be dry, but we will be warmer, and we will continue also with that trend of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies throughout the day on Thursday. Friday night, we go mostly cloudy again, because the clouds are associated with these fronts. And by 5 o'clock Friday, right here, Stockton, Pittsburgh, Parsons, Independence, there's the new cold front, which means it will enter our northwestern counties almost at the same time as the warm front tomorrow and the cold front this morning. And behind it, we'll have north winds, not expected to be as breezy at this point, but still could be a little gusty at times. And our temperatures will be cooler again on Friday, and we will continue with mostly clear to partly cloudy skies across the area throughout our Friday. And then as we head into Saturday, we warm back up a little. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, some of you hit your high temperatures from a record-keeping standpoint early this morning. Temperatures are falling back across most of the area. We should be about the mid-40s to start, but take a look at how these numbers really don't move. Once we hit about 9, 10 o'clock, we settle into our temperatures, our daytime highs, if you will. We'll be upper 40s by 11, and I think the majority of us will top out in terms of heading into the afternoon when we're actually out driving, doing school, work, whatever the case may be, into the upper 40s. So a couple of low 50s will still be possible this afternoon, but most of us into the upper 40s, and those northwest winds gusting to 30. Now, once we get past sunset, which is at 5:01, those temperatures, although they'll be steady most of the day, will begin to drop. Clouds will increase. We're mid-30s by 10, low mid-30s overnight, mostly cloudy. Winds expected to be calm until that warm front comes through and starts them back up again. Upper 50s, maybe even a couple of low 60s, especially our southwestern counties tomorrow. Then we get cooler again Friday, mid-40s behind that front. Upper 40s, low 50s Saturday. Another one comes through, and kicks us down into the upper teens Saturday night into Sunday, leaving us much colder Sunday, mid-30s. And we start to warm back up again next week in the low 60s by Wednesday, a week boundary. That's why our low Wednesday is the same as our high Thursday. It steadies the temperatures. And then even Thursday night, we only drop back a couple more degrees and we'll start warming up again by next Friday. Let's check your forecast. We are back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Topping Health Watch. The Senate is set to vote on a Democratic health care proposal this week as part of the deal that ended the government shutdown. But without Republican support, it's not going to pass, and the GOP is still debating its own plan to rework the Affordable Care Act and make it more affordable. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the details.
With the new year approaching, many people are starting to make their list of resolutions. And with the number of folks pursuing tattoo removal on the rise, some people's goals might be to get rid of old ink.
They might have got that tattoo when they were young. Maybe they were 16, 17, and now they're 30 or 40 and they're like, this doesn't jive with me anymore. So they're like, I want to get this off.
Advancements in technology are helping make tattoo removal more accessible, with many professionals using something called a quality switching laser. The laser gives off concentrated bursts of light energy to break up the ink into small particles. Those small particles are then absorbed by the body and eventually released as waste.
I think just right now, as I'm getting older, I just want my natural looking skin back.
Tracy Herman has 8 tattoos and is getting 4 removed, but the process can sting.
It definitely feels like a rubber band, hot rubber band hitting you, or grease from a frying pan. Those are the 2 ways I explain that to a lot of people. It doesn't feel great.
The stress balls really help because at the time it is pretty intense. It's like a bee sting.
Multiple sessions are also needed to remove ink, depending on factors like the size, depth, and color of the tattoo. Sessions are also typically spaced months apart for time to heal.
So I tell everyone that we start off at $100 shop minimum, and that's where I stay at.
Meanwhile, the Food and Drug Administration lists several risks associated with tattoo removal, including temporary scarring, redness, infection, and more, meaning proper consultation is key. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
Well, coming up, we're going to have more details on Missouri redistricting initiatives that have more than 300,000 signatures.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:31. I'm Samantha Walker. Opponents of Missouri's new redistricting map, which was backed by President Donald Trump ahead of the midterm elections, are pushing to get the issue on the ballot for voters. Organizers of the petition for a statewide referendum delivered boxes of what they said were more than 300,000 signatures to the Missouri Secretary of State's office.
Today, Missourians are exercising their constitutional right to a referendum against the House Bill 1, the gerrymander passed by our legislature this last September. We are turning in over 305,000 signatures gathered by over 2,000 volunteers from every single county in the state of Missouri. We are doing this because democracy belongs to the people of Missouri and should be focused on the people's voices and not what politicians want.
Missouri's Republican Secretary of State argued a referendum is unconstitutional. These petition signatures must be formally verified by the Secretary of State and local election authorities. Now here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got a breezy and cool day ahead of us. Great look at that sunrise, though, from downtown Pittsburgh. In fact, I'm in the way of the sunrise, but it's over there. And we got some clouds, and that's how our sky conditions are going to be today. Our camera 7th in range line. You can see the trees blowing around in the wind. Same cloud view here, but just a nice start from the sky. And we are a bit cool. Now the winds are picking back up. It feels a little cooler out there. KDOT camera 69-400 looking along 171. Looks good as well. And the MoDOT camera 32nd in range line in Joplin, looking pretty good so far this morning. Temperatures, they're mild compared to the last couple of days, but the wind chill is becoming a thing again. We're at 47 in Joplin, 45 in Pittsburgh, and across the area, our temperatures are in the low to mid 40s. Now, so we've got 50 now back into Jay and Miami, and earlier again, Sedan was at 52. Now, there's a fair chance Sedan, I'm just using it as the example, that 52, again, for record-keeping purposes, may be what is going to be listed as your high today, although during the day you may not make it more than 48 or 49. And I think that's going to be the case for a good number of folks. Is the temperatures we had early this morning before that cold front really started to push through are probably going to be our recorded highs, but our daytime highs are going to be a bit different. And with the winds increasing, we're starting to see a lot more of these wind chills into the mid to upper 30s. So not a huge drop, but definitely a cold start to the day, especially with that wind blowing on you this morning. Gusty northwest winds will continue as we head through the afternoon and into the evening hours before easing up overnight tonight. And as I mentioned, that mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies before clouds begin to increase late this evening into the overnight hours ahead of a warm front coming in tomorrow morning, which we'll discuss a little later. So this is what I'm talking about too. Our temperatures level out. We're mid 40s by 9. Upper 40s by, I'd say, even 10 o'clock, and then that's where we're going to stop. Now, you saw Miami and Jay both at 50. There's a chance some of our southwestern communities could reach about 51, maybe 52 today, but the majority of us will be into the upper 40s. And then after sunset, which is at 5:01, temperatures will begin to drop back into the 30s tonight. And again, leading into this evening, gusty northwest winds pushing 30. So if you're driving a high-profile vehicle, do keep that in mind. Our roller coaster ride of temperatures, man, just will not let go. We were warm yesterday, we're cool today, we're warm tomorrow, we're cool on Friday, we warm up again on, I think Saturday, and then we're cold on Sunday. We're going to go over those details with you in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Thanks, Chris. The debate over a controversial boat strike is heating up, with top administration officials briefing lawmakers today. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen reports.
Behind closed doors on Capitol Hill, Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs General Dan Kane, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio briefed top congressional leaders on those deadly military strikes on suspected drug boats.
What the hell is going on in the Caribbean and in Venezuela? What are their plans? How far do they plan to go?
In September, the Trump administration released this footage of a strike on a boat it says was driven by narco-terrorists. But after the revelation that a second strike finished off 2 survivors, it's unclear if the president or the Pentagon want the rest of the video released.
Whatever they have, we'd certainly release, no problem. I didn't say that. I saw the video. They were trying to turn the boat back to where it could float. And we didn't want to see that because that boat was loaded up with drugs just like everything else.
President Trump now says he will leave it up to Hegseth whether to release it or not. Select members of Congress have already seen the video in a classified briefing. While some say it vindicated the Pentagon, others are calling for a wider release.
I would predict this evidence will shock the conscience of America. It will shock America's conscience if it becomes public.
Just let people see it. Everybody can make their own decision.
Lawmakers added a provision to their defense spending bill that would limit Hegseth's travel budget if he does not provide that footage to Congress. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Well, coming up next, lawmakers continue to work towards keeping kids safe online. In Consumer Watch, U.S. job openings were mostly stagnant in October. The latest Labor Department numbers show that employers posted 7.67 million job openings that month, up from 7.66 million the month before. The report also found that layoffs jumped to nearly 1.9 million in October, the most since January 2023, while the number of people quitting their jobs fell. GoFundMe's analysis of 2025 found an uptick in appeals for help with basic necessities. According to the online crowdfunding platform, words like work, home, food, and bill were among the top keywords associated with campaigns this year, while monthly bills was the second fastest growing category. GoFundMe also says it received the most donations on January 10th, raising more than $8 million for the communities impacted by the Los Angeles County's wildfires. Donation campaigns also rose during the recent government shutdown. And Crocs is returning to Bikini Bottom. The company is again teaming up with SpongeBob SquarePants to release limited edition clogs featuring the title character as well as Patrick Star and Squidward tentacles. The new Crocs drop on Thursday at a price of $79.99 ahead of next week's release of Paramount's The SpongeBob Movie, Search for SquarePants. Paramount Skydance is the parent company of Paramount Pictures and CBS News. SpaceX launches a secret payload for the U.S. military yesterday. The Falcon 9 rocket took off from Cape Canaveral for the National Reconnaissance Office. The secretive spy satellite agency is keeping the payload and mission details classified. This marks SpaceX's second NRO mission since winning the contract in 2020. Well, lawmakers on Capitol Hill continue focusing on how to keep kids safe online. Last week, the House targeted big tech's role, and this week, the Senate zeroed in on online sextortion. Fox's Ryan Schmelz has the story.
Talk to your children about sextortion.
Protecting kids from online predators, the focus of a bipartisan hearing on Capitol Hill Tuesday. Members of the Senate Judiciary Committee getting a first-hand account of how one teen took his own life after being harassed for more than 19 hours by a female predator.
She groomed him. Then she asked if he wanted to see her unclothed and then exposed herself. She asked him to do the same. And like any innocent 17-year-old boy who liked a girl and saw no danger, he did.
It's a scenario the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children says is becoming more common.
These offenders lure children into online relationships, then terrorize them with rapid-fire threats. Reports of these brutal victimizations grew by 200% last year and continue rising.
Testimony led one lawmaker to question if these predators should be considered domestic terrorists.
Y'all both just told us that they're trying to bring down society by harming our children and exploiting them. Why shouldn't they be domestic terrorists?
The hearing comes as Congress ramps up its oversight of big tech and its role in keeping children safe. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle agreeing more needs to be done outside of hearings.
We make great speeches here. We sometimes enact great laws in the committee. But when it comes to taking them to the floor, to enact them on the floor and eventually send them over to the House, we drop the ball completely.
Ahead of the hearing, Senators Dick Durbin and Chuck Grassley introduced a bipartisan package of 3 bills to address this issue. It targets weak sentencing laws, online criminal networks, and child sextortion. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:45 now on this Wednesday morning. Again, starting with our future track for today, we'll have those gusty northwest winds, already seeing them across the region, and our temperatures a little cooler behind this cold front as we head through the day, and of course that mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. We'll go mostly cloudy overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, and the reason for that is, well, this is a warm front that all these fronts, by the way, they are stacked where they arrive in our area at almost the same time. Tonight, this front last night into this morning, by 5 a.m., it was right about I-44. By 5 a.m. on Thursday, this warm front coming in from the southwest is right here, splitting the area in half. And we'll have another front by Friday morning at about the same time. That will bring in cooler temperatures again. So this warm front pushes through tomorrow morning, brings in warmer air, and by mid to late morning, so say after about 10 o'clock or so, southwest winds pick up, gusting upwards of 25, maybe up to 30, and we'll continue that mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Each of these fronts not bringing any precipitation with them at this point, but they do bring the clouds. They see we go mostly cloudy ahead of all of these fronts. They bring the clouds with them, and then they clear out a bit back behind. Here we are Friday, 5 a.m., right here. Another front, this one a cold front, and it will bring in some northerly winds behind it and bring in cooler air as we head into our Friday. And then believe it or not, we go into Saturday, we'll warm up a bit, and then by Saturday night, we get a big drop in temperatures. And I'm going to show you that here in just a moment on the extended forecast. As for this morning, mid 40s to start, upper 40s by 11. And as I've mentioned before, some of you, and Sedan, this is an example, you may warm back up a bit. You were at 52 at like 6 o'clock this morning. There's a good chance that that's going to be your recorded high for today. But heading into the afternoon, you'll top out in the upper 40s. That's going to be that part for those of you who look at the statistics. You're going to see, well, it didn't warm up into the 50s. It did just very early in the morning, and that's what they mark as the high. But we're looking at daytime temperatures into the upper 40s for most of us. Now, some low 50s are still possible, especially in our southern counties, but most of us will reach the upper 40s. And that's the other thing. Real quick, take a look at the numbers through the morning. they start leveling out, and we go to those highs, and into the afternoon, they level out, upper 40s. They just sit there with those northwest winds gusting to 30. Sun sets at 5:01. After that, temperatures will begin to drop. Clouds will increase, mid-30s by 10, low to mid-30s overnight. Winds, though, will be calm with those mostly cloudy skies. Again, breezy, warmer tomorrow, upper 50s, some low 60s, not out of the question. That cold front Friday morning cools us back down into the mid-40s. A pinch warmer Saturday, and then a more potent front. Right now, I know we had rain chances yesterday. Those are gone now, at least for the time being. But the front Saturday still kicks our temperatures way down into the upper teens by Saturday night, making it where we only reach the mid-30s by Sunday. Then we start another warming trend next week. Maybe some showers possible on Tuesday, into the low 60s by Wednesday. And I wanted to show you this as well. Look, we dropped to 47 Wednesday night. Thursday, we don't move. We have another week boundary. It kind of stalls out a minute, and it holds our temperatures in place. That's why we only dropped to 45 Thursday night. It just kind of bobs around the area. Once it exits, though, we warm back up into the low 60s by next Friday. So, yeah, these temperatures are probably going to play havoc with you, and certainly playing havoc with the forecasting here, because they're just up and down and up and down and up and down for the next several days. That's checking your forecast. We're back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Hi, how you doing?
He's so excited to talk about Mariah Carey returning to #1, like he just returned to the couch.
I was going to just say the same thing. I just returned myself. And of course, Mariah Carey's, we defrosted her for the holiday season. Well, okay, you're going to have to finish this one. I don't know
Mariah Carey returns to #1 for the holidays, and Simu Liu faces a mind-bending threat.
I don't know who that is, unfortunately. Well, the good news is Fox's Ashley Dvorkin does, and she's got all that and more in today's Hollywood Nation.
You're telling me it's real?
Liu battles a brain hack, Carell navigates college drama, and Carey dominates the holidays in the Hollywood Nation. Mariah Carey is reclaiming her holiday crown once again. Her classic All I Want for Christmas Is You has returned to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, jumping 4 spots to notch a record-tying 19th total week at the top. That means the song has now spent 19 weeks at #1 across all the years it has recharted, matching the longest run in Hot 100 history, tied with Lil Nas X's Old Town Road and Shaboozie's A Bar Song. It also marks the 7th holiday season the song has hit #1, further cementing Carey as the reigning queen of the Christmas charts. Steve Carell heads back to school. HBO announced his new comedy series Rooster will debut in March 2026 and released first look images. Carell executive produces and stars as an author whose relationship with his daughter gets complicated when college life unexpectedly brings them back together.
We can either attempt to remove what's in your brain, or we keep the hack open.
Simu Liu steps into a high-tech nightmare in today's first looks. Peacock dropped the trailer for the Copenhagen test, with Liu playing an intelligence agent framed as a traitor after a mysterious device is implanted in his brain. Forced to pretend he doesn't know he's being monitored, he teams up with a woman who may or may not be an ally as he hunts the people controlling him. The series premieres December 27th.
Are you in?
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
A lot to look forward to. Of course, Mariah Carey. I mean, yeah, we were just discussing. Do you think that when she wrote that song and did it a long time ago, before your time, that she saw it becoming what it is now? Like, I don't know how it happened. I'm sure she's probably was surprised at first, too.
But I think the world is grateful to her, or maybe hates her a little bit for it. You know, it's
I
one
think
or
it's
the
a
other.
50-50 split,
There's nobody in the middle who's like, You know, they either are like, I am sick of that song, or it is the best song ever to happen to Christmas.
Yeah, certainly so. And we've got some cooler temperatures today. We're going to start our day in the mid-40s, going into the upper 40s by 11. That's where we should top out. Breezy, though. Now look at your forecast, the Wake Up Recap right after this.
This is your Wake Up Recap for December 10th. Your top stories to start your day. Missouri residents have submitted a petition with around 300,000 signatures to call for a statewide referendum on a proposed congressional map. This is nearly 3 times the required number to suspend the new House districts until a public vote can occur next year. The petition awaits formal verification by election authorities. The new map could potentially benefit the Republican Party in the 2026 midterm elections. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And again, we are cooler today, breezy. We're going to go into the upper 40s for our afternoon temperatures, our afternoon highs for most of us. Couple low 50s possible. Northwest winds gusting to 30. And clouds will increase later this evening, and our temperatures will begin to drop after sunset. We're back in the low to mid 30s tonight, mostly cloudy, but winds should be calm. Warm front tomorrow morning. We'll get southwest winds starting to gust again up to 25 or 30. Upper 50s, maybe even a couple of low 60s. Another cold front Friday morning. We're back into the mid 40s. A little warmer Saturday, much colder Saturday night into Sunday. Teens for the lows and 30s for the highs on Sunday. And then another up and down week next week into the 60s and 40s and 50s. So just be prepared for the roller coaster ride to last for a hot minute or two.
Yes, definitely. I'm going to appreciate the warm, though, while we have it.
Yeah, exactly. Tomorrow when it's nice and toasty, well, for December, nice and toasty, make sure you enjoy it. And, have fun. Yeah. Be cautious, of course, too, if you're driving a high-profile vehicle with those gusty winds. And we want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're going to be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.